So, um, I had been working on this Bucilla craft kit, embroidery kit thing for a while, multiple weeks. So, finally did all the little characters, and this is them in the basket, and you can go back and see how I do each one. And I blather about them, and it makes very little sense. So, user's choice if you're interested. So, for this, I am attaching my little dudes to the actual garland itself. So, the instructions have you, it says a whole bunch of numbers and like math and stuff about figuring out how long to make your string. I didn't I didn't even go there. I did whatever. It's however long I felt like making my string. So, and then I also reordered them because I didn't like the order that the kit had you put them in because I liked it to be like some brown mixed throughout or whatever. So, anyways, I reordered them. I also didn't like that they used brown string as their garland string thread, whatever. And if we're just going to do a strand of string anyway, I chose to use one of my greens that were not part of this kit and a little stronger than this kit. So I also, it never tells you to attach the snail to the stump. I read through the instructions multiple times. It just tells you to set those two aside, and then it doesn't tell you to attach them to each other. So I appliqued the bunny on real fast a little bit. Massive confusion there. Like, what? What do you call that voice draw thing? I like that. What? Is that a Valley Girl thing too? Because, yeah. Like, yes. Okay. I have a train of thought. So, anyways, in order to attach these to the garland, it's literally the easiest thing. I felt like it was a little bit sad or wasteful to my little dudes to sew them to something because now they've got stitching on their back. But if you ever wanted to take them off, you could just seam rip them very, very gently and very carefully. So I organize them a little bit and play with them a little bit. Eventually, I will cut my green string and then I fold the green string in half so that I know exactly where the halfway point is. And then I add the middle dude because there's 7 things that I made. So I add the middle dude to the middle of the string, and then I just like kind of paste them out a little ish here and there. It's not all that thought out and it's not all mathy and stuff. It's just kind of a here and there sort of a thing. That's really how I approach art. If I think about it too much, it will come out so incorrectly. Like, oh my goodness. When I was younger, I got this sewing book. It was actually all these Harry Potter crafts from the library. And I was making the wizard robe. And I kept calling my mom at work, hey, can I use this sheet? Hey, can I use this sheet? And, she kept telling me, yeah. And so I was overweight, of course, somewhat. I don't know for some, why did I believe I was 4 times larger than other humans? I used 4 times more fabric than the thing originally thought, a person would need. It thought anybody would be able to do it with 1 sheet. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm overweight, so I obviously need more than 1 sheet, right? Also, my math skills are so wonky. I mathed it out to the point where I wound up making a robe that could have fit literally the entire family. We would have all been able to, we could have lived in that thing. We had this enormous living room at that house. It was so big it didn't even fit in the living room. It curled up the walls and stuff. Like, oh my goodness. And I just like totally thought, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm that big. Yeah, that makes sense. That's logical. So, I don't know. That's body dysmorphia in a nutshell. It never got better. Oh my goodness. So I was getting my hair cut at some point and she asked me what size I was and I had no idea and I didn't know what to say. So I just blurted out, I have body dysmorphia. I have no idea. Oh, you got to kind of figure it out yourself looking at me because I will tell you the wildest number. Oh my goodness. One of the years ago, somebody else was trying to point out to me that I was a different size than I thought I was. And I was like, do you know what size this shirt is? And their rebuttal, that shirt is a tent on you. So I try not to wear too much tent clothing anymore because it does get a little bit claustrophobic, but at some point all clothes becomes tent clothes when you just don't eat anymore. But I have found some food that's safe to eat, and there's times where I eat more than a person should, so, put it all in my crazy health bucket, and eventually it'll spit out as actual health. I'm working on it. So I'm learning no more weird eliminations. I try to do a complete cut all sugar out, like as much as humanly possible, like literally the lowest sugar in every vegetable, like no fruit at all. Like I completely tried to wipe sugar out of my body, which is something I did before a couple months ago when I first wound up with this injury. You're okay. Wake up. Wake up. You're okay. I don't want to get bitten while he's having a bad dream down by my foot. Lost my train of thought. Anyways, so I did completely wipe sugar out of my body before, but I had wiped all food out of my body at that point, so that's probably why it didn't make me as sick. But when I tried to wipe completely all the sugar out of my body this time, oh my goodness, I don't recommend that to anyone. I didn't realize it could make you so sick to have no sugar in your body. Like, oh my goodness. I was so dehydrated and so tired and just like, I just did not feel okay. The more time that passed, I was thinking my body's going to get used to having no sugar, right? Like, this is going to be health. Yeah, it was health. It was questionable health. Wow, I will never do that again. So it's back to eating meringues on a regular basis because meringues are like literally the best cookie anybody has ever invented. I tried to make meringues myself out of aquafaba, which would be a vegan meringue instead of using egg because technically egg is really hard for me to process, but for some reason if I bake it certain ways, it doesn't hurt me. But anyways, so the vegan meringues, I did absolutely everything you're not supposed to do and I made them fall. So I considered making them again so that I can try not doing all those things to make them fall. But I'm afraid to do anything that has anything to do with chickpeas anymore because I was trying to roast chickpeas when the kitchen decided to catch on fire. And to be fair, that wasn't my fault. And I'm trying to tell myself logically it's not the chickpeas' fault. It was the oven. It shot itself to the highest temperature. But how do I know the chickpeas aren't cursed? I don't think I ever want to cook a chickpea again. Like, oh my goodness. So if I was going to use the aquafaba, what am I going to do with the chickpeas? I'm not going to eat them raw because, like, what else do you do with it other than turn it into hummus or put it on a salad? This ramble had totally, like, everything to do with my garland. I'm on topic. Yes, that's my bedroom wall. Bye.